this one diverts a tad bit. It was written before we were writing lyrics for this album specifically. And so Empty Shell was actually about when our family moved over to Switzerland, like half of our family moved, and a bunch of the others were moving out, either getting married. So here's our house, all right? Tons of people in there when we were little. Half of them moved to Switzerland, the other half go to college. One person from Switzerland moves back and is in that house by themselves for 2 years. And at one point I called my parents and said, I feel so alone. I go to bed every night crying just from going from such big family to just basically one person. And it's really lonely here. They sent somebody back for me. You know, Deborah's watching right now. It was Deborah. And, but before that I called my dad and I said, I just feel so alone. And he said, Catherine, maybe you're meant to be alone. He meant it in the terms of maybe you're supposed to realize something from this experience, but it hit me so hard. It's like, Dad, nobody says that. He said, Catherine, maybe you're meant to be alone. So I wrote a sad, angry song about it, and then the boys pumped it up a little bit. They gave it a little bit of life. The part that I did add was in the bridge, and it says, I have come to the conclusion, in isolation there's a lesson. So that's that lesson my dad was trying to teach me of maybe you're alone for a reason. And I finally, years later, have come to the conclusion that in isolation there's a lesson. I came to that conclusion on myself. No, my dad brought me there. The sense of empty is an illusion, because if you're feeling alone, this is the uplifting part of the song, is if you're feeling alone, then you've forgotten about God, because God doesn't leave you alone. And so, I mean, he puts people on earth to be your friends and stuff, but ultimately he's the one who's never gonna be gone. He's never gonna leave you alone. So that part I added. Yeah, I went from sadness to years later agreeing with my dad that it was for a reason. There was a lot of valuable stuff that I learned from being alone, like how to sit down for hours and just pray. A lot of people think that that's super boring, but the more that you do it and the more that you invest time in reading the Bible, you realize how actually calming it is and how much it actually makes a difference in your life. It actually makes a difference. It took me so long to realize that spending time with God actually makes a difference in how you feel and actually the things that are happening around you.
There were some parts that I got to write, like in the highs. I would follow the guitars with the da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, and really try to challenge myself with going quickly with the bow and the changing of the finger positions. But the da-da-da-da, da-da, that part, I wanted to do something high and dramatic. And I was like, hey PJ, Drew, what do you think this sounds like? And they liked it, so it was just fun coming up with my own parts.